Hello, 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 my beautiful people, my beautiful people. We have a wonderful topic we're going to discuss today with Healing the Hood Part 4. This series is about weak men that create single mothers. Now, I know a lot of y'all might not like this topic, and for those who don't, I want you to still come on in and listen, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then that's fine. Go ahead and tune off or do what you do. But no, this could be a lesson learned for you or someone that you know, um, to spread the message. So, attraction between two people, right? It doesn't just start with one. No one gets bullied into having an attraction with someone. Well, I guess they call that rape or um, date raping, or either way go, it's unconsensual. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the consent of two people wanting to be with each other. Now, whether that consent is intentfully good or bad, there still is a mutual understanding that I like you, you like me. Let's see where this can go, right? So, back in the day, men understood the dynamics of the family. They understood two heads is better than one, meaning you're a particular woman that I like. I like your values, and if I don't, we're going to change them so we can create this family to move forward in life, right? Um, that has been eradicated. There's no longer a community. There's no longer a man that understands. And not saying that there's not. So we're not talking to those. So if it doesn't, the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it. We're not talking to the rules to the exception because there are wonderful, phenomenal men out there. But we're talking to the latter, right? So because there are no men no more that want to stand up in the place of the role of a man who protects, provides, and leads, um, we have what we have today, a male who puts on the roles and characteristics of a man but doesn't execute that in his day-to-day living. And that can be in a form of many different ways. You know, what some people call success, how he's measured financially in this life, um, how people view him, his resources, what he can offer, that what makes a man, um, what can I do to help someone else? And better yet, the woman that I choose to share my life with, how can I make her better? And in turn, she's gonna obviously make me better, right? And those that I'm referring to are what we would call real men and real women. So we're talking about the latter. Weak men create single mothers, you know, and because of that, going back to the attraction of two, the choice you have to have unprotected sex, you choose not to co-parent because in resulting if you have a baby. So and again we're focusing on single mothers. So when you chose to get aroused by this woman, there are condoms regardless of you were born in the 90s, late 80s, 70s, 60s, regardless. Everyone knows about condoms. There's no excuse for that. And if you do, I'm sorry, where have you been living? Um, Everyone knows about condoms, but because you're so weak in the mind that you don't have love for yourself, you choose to have unprotected sex, and even so that your pullout game is weak, that you impregnate this woman. Now, 9 times out of 10, That woman believes that y'all are in a relationship, y'all are growing and bonding and learning each other to spend the rest of your life together. So that's why she allows you, again, 9 times out of 10, to come inside of her because she has already calculated, okay, this is where I'm at in my life. He's meeting that criteria. I'm getting that feeling. You know, some of us who, grew up in, religion, I prayed about it. You know, we went through those steps and we're like, okay, all right, this is what it is. Okay. And for me especially, I waited till I was 22. And also because, I didn't really like kids. I was a kid. I see what my mom was going through. I see what my sister was going through. I seen what other girls went through having children at a young age. I was like, oh hell no. Nah. This is not for me, right? Having children was just a no no. But guess what? I fell in love with a deceiver. But it's not your fault, and we will talk about that. When you get hit with Cupid's arrow, as they say, that's not your fault. That's a frequency unknown to man, meaning man did not create love. So when you fall in love, you cannot choose who you, or when you fall in love, should I say. You cannot choose when you fall in love, but you definitely can choose who. So we'll talk about that later. So now she's pregnant and you run from your responsibilities. Now, this is the weak man because we're not talking about the strong, healthy man who, regardless of if it was a one night stand or, um, after y'all started dating, you found out like this wasn't the one, you mutually came up with a decision, okay, now that we're pregnant, we're going to co parent. That's a healthy man, right? Who creates room for a healthy woman. But when you're a weak man, you create a weak woman. But we're still talking about the strength of a strong single mother who has become by default, you know? So the weak man chooses to leave. Now, when you leave, you bear her with a whole lot of responsibilities that, as a woman, she should never have to bear on her own. And for instance, it's like, let's see, when she is making all type of sacrifices just to take care of this child, just to provide and protect for this child. Now, she has to give up a lot. And let's see what she gives up. You know what I'm saying? She gives up her friends, her family, her social life. She gives up um, you know, her credit. She, loses job, she becomes evicted, she becomes homeless, and now all of her dreams have been shattered, all because she thought it was mutually decided that we were going to have this child, but because you were so weak, you shot it out. So now she's left with having to figure things out on her own, right? Which is the magic of a single woman. People forget that the energy that they put out, and when it comes back to you, that you can't get mad. They forget all about what they done and then get mad at you when you bring it up to them. And for a real woman who's not bitter, not holding any grudges, she just understands life. And sometimes life deals you a messed up card. And if you're strong, you're going to get through it. You're not going to make excuses as the weak man. You're not going to deflect. Instead of taking accountability, you start blaming. The primary parent is the individual who stayed because you left. And this segment, we're talking about the single mothers. We'll have another one with the single fathers because it's the same way, but it's just not done in such a mass way. Majority of single parents are single mothers. So since you left, somebody has to stay and raise the child, right? That's the primary parent. That's that single mother. So now she has to provide activities for the child. She has to love the child. She has to discipline the child. She has to provide for the child. She has to devote to the child, meaning if they have plays or games or, you know, um, they want to hang out with their friends, you have to teach the child, you know, and disillusional people get offended of the truth, of people who are authentically operating in themselves. Those who choose to operate in their true selves are hated on the most. The most. And that's when people who are not healed from whatever trauma that they went through, they will start projecting that onto you. But guess what, boo? There's no space for excuses when raising a child, right? Hence, a single mother. A great woman who knows exactly who she is has zero tolerance for BS. Of course, she can't keep a man who's low in vibration if she has standards and stands on it 1000%. Weak man's kryptonite is a strong woman. Just like a woman admires the hustle and stature of a man, how he moves, the people, and how they respond to him, the resources he's attached to, what he can do for you, what he can offer you, what he can bring to the table. Ooh, his stilo, we get turned on by that, and that's why that song by Neo, you know, you inspire me. Shit, I you pull up with a caddy, I pull up with one too. You know what I'm saying, and vice versa. A strong man adores a strong woman. Why? Because iron sharpens iron. Um, and really with our culture and just with any culture, um, she's not passive aggressive. A strong woman is gonna stand on her twos, right? All 10 toes, and just stand on her ground, which is your 2 feet, right? And she gonna let you know where you stand, and this is where you learn how to be a woman. That there's multiple ways you can articulate a point, right? But what I said is what I said, honey. And if you don't fly right, you ain't gonna fly straight. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna fly away, which is the weak man. So anybody that yells at you secretly got something for you, or got something on you, or got something that they want from you. Trust me. So that's like, if you are the single mother and anytime you have a conversation with that absentee parent, that other parent, and they're starting to yell at you, anytime you can, and this is a grown man and a grown woman, what they call grown, because we're always growing, so we're not fully grown, but a healthy adult, a healthy man, and a healthy woman, you would always be able to articulate yourself, even when you're mad. Like, hold up, check this out. Look, you're starting to piss me off. I'm going the other way. Let me rephrase this. Maybe you didn't hear me, right? Because you're starting to, trigger me. You know what I'm saying? So let me rephrase that. That's always taking the higher road. That's a healthy man and a healthy woman. But if that man is not effectively articulating his conversation to where, as a man, you should always lead the conversation. And because you're weak, yelling like a female. You're in your emotions. You're not able to articulate your point to where shit, your baritones in your voice alone should just shut the woman up. And and I told one of my first ex-husband this, you know, you could just say something and you make the whole house shut up, okay? And you could be talking to one of the children and shit, I think I'm in trouble. Okay, just because of how you said it. I'm like, okay, well, let me go sit down too. Do I need a whooping? You know? Here, come punish me. Okay. But anyways, that's in a healthy relationship. But no, the power of a healthy man, you're not understanding that. So because you're operating in your estrogen, you know what I'm saying? You're super, super beta male, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're yelling. So anytime you got somebody yelling at you, you got them because they got something on you. They want something from you. They can't either beat you and they mad. They can't use you how they used to and they mad. Some way or another, you affected them in the worst way, okay? And so they trying to make you feel bad. And weak women accept this. She accepts the weak man and continues his delusion that he's right, you know, and because of a weak man begots a weak woman. You're so weak that you can only tolerate a weak woman. You're so weak that you can't accept a challenge. And it's not the challenge that I'm challenging your everything. And again, this is for a healthy man and healthy woman understands what I'm talking about. A weak man can't accept the challenge. So therefore, going to a domicile weak woman who's able to easily submit to again that stature of a man, just the figure of a man. A lot of y'all think because y'all are boys and because you have a phallus in between your legs that you're a man. Oh, boo boo, your actions make you a man. Just like a father is a verb, it's putting in action. Just because you biologically her daddy, don't mean you the father. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep it pushing. And And no, baby girl, it's not your fault you chose to love and the nigga reneged on you. You know what I'm saying? Left you hot and dry to where you had to figure everything out, on your own. You had to cry on your own. You had to be alone. You had to do all that. And this is for those who didn't have no help. And when I say single mother, I'm not referring to those who had help, regardless if you're a single mother and the father is absent or you have help. To me, having help is not a single mother. I mean single as in a straight line. There's no ending, right? It's just you. A dot is like a circle. I can choose who and how I have in it, and whatever is in it is circling. It's constant rotation. A line, nigga, is A to B. It could be C to B. It's D to Z. It's the whole alphabet. You hear me? So love is of the Most High. You can't choose when you fall in love, like I said earlier, but you can definitely choose who you love. So once you understand that that man has left you with both of the responsibilities that you mutually created, you have to stand on your own too and say, you know what? Because I believe in love, yes, I'm going to grow and I'll be able to pick out the man that's going to just leave me high and dry versus the man who's going to go through this with me. And even if our relationship doesn't work, he understands that he procreated that child with me. And especially for the ones who got the DNA, boo boo, that marker is 99.99.999999% a match. And for you to deny that is denying God. And I'm not religious no more. So when I say God, I'm referring to whatever helps you get through the day. Whatever higher power, even if it's a lower power, whatever helps you get through the day. Again, because I'm a real gangster. I'm a street warrior. I'm a warrior for the Most High. So I understand lower energies, our fallen angels, some who just can't get right. You know what I'm saying? You can't shun them. Just like if, a person who believes in Jesus Christ, if that's who you believe in and that helps you through your life, boo, I love Jesus Christ too because of you. And not to say that I know any better, and everybody's knowledge is different. You know, most of y'all loving just to be loved, taking all types of BS just to say that's my man or my boyfriend. That's not love. That's what people call trauma bonding. Again, that weak man, that weak woman, because you're so weak, you can't stand up to this man. And not standing up to you like you need to put your hands on them, you need to be doing domestic violence, because I don't condone that. And that's another thing that I'm an advocate for is domestic violence. Like, I do not condone that. And again, that's weak. Because if you can overpower someone, why hit them? That's another reason why I stopped disciplining my children. I grew up getting my butt whooped. But once I began to having my offspring, I learned like they can't whoop me. So why am I beating on them? It's a difference from disciplining, but just constantly beating on a child because I'm frustrated and can't articulate my emotions, that's weak. You know, and karma is being served 2023 and beyond for all y'all who are weak. Single mother who lost a job, had eviction, became homelessness, lost all her friends, lost her social life, had to change all her dreams. The ultimate sacrifice of a single mother is unbelievably limitless. And y'all not knowing, weak men, you created the most strongest woman in the world. And don't let her be Aboriginal. Or I ain't even gonna say Aboriginal. Don't let her be the original woman. Oh boy, boy, boy. Because that ninth ether, that's the highest ultimate raise you can ever raise to. That ultraviolet purple, boo, that violet, that lavender, what you created was the ultimate thing, to where she's so beautiful she ain't gotta have no lashes, she necessarily ain't gotta have the lace fronts and the long weave and all that. She walk outside and kids is waving to her. She walk outside and men is just smiling. Women are just, hey, you're so beautiful, because she's emanating all that weakness that you put into her to make her weak. She took it and ran with it, boy. She made them ugly lemons and made lemonade, boy, and got everybody sipping. Hey, Khalees, my milkshake got all the boys in the yard and they like, it's better than yours, I can teach you, but I'm gonna have to charge. Like, for real, what they say, the game ain't free. To those who are lost. Let me end that in there. Spin my little twist in that. But people forget that all the things that they've done, that one day they won't be held accountable for. And one day you gonna meet that individual, like Summer Walker said, karma, you're gonna meet that woman that's gonna be a mirror of everything you do, because she's not weak, right? So she's gonna stand on everything, and because she's a woman, she's a wonderful lady, she's gonna hold all of her emotions. She's not gonna tell you when you're wrong. She's just gonna take it. She gonna take it. She gonna take it. And to where one day you gonna realize all of what she took was just all of what you dushed her. And now she gonna reflect all of what you did onto you. And this is all of what you did. So you get mad when people mirror your actions. You can't handle it. What they say, if you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen. Yeah, a weak man cannot handle what he does to other people. All shade to all the single mothers out there. You are worthy. And if ain't nobody told you you are beautiful, ain't nobody told you you are special, you are amazing, you are a great mother. Because, and that's the other segment, there's a lot of women out there who are not mothers, who left and ran their responsibility and left it with the man, left it with the grandma, left it with the auntie, left it at the fire department, left it at the police station, left it in the trash can, okay? So trust. You are amazing. And just because you ain't got no baby don't mean you're not an amazing mother. All shade to all the teachers who give enlightenment to the children. You know, and shame on you, Tony Gaskins, for trying to boast on tonight's conversations. I don't know the dude's name, but yes, sir, you're a Christian, so let's stop there. You're caught in the spell of religion. And again, as old boy try to point to you, that is your perspective. Oh, calm down. You getting a little with your tone, boy. If we was really in the streets, I really want to see how that would handle. Because as a Christian, you can't handle the streets. That's why you went to the church. And again, we not bashing nobody. Again, if you listen to the prior couple minutes, I said, however, how you found God, however, how you found the higher power, however, how you found the initiative to go through life, even if that's of a lower power, continue going. And when I say lower power, I mean there's sometimes who people who are dealt the shittiest hand in life. And the only thing that can get them through is what you might call bad, evil. So to me, that's bringing light to that person. You know what I'm saying? Not that the fact that they just out here just doing evil, but just say if somebody whose parent was both drug addicts and one was in jail, one was on crack, and then they both died, and then you're 13 having to raise your own, and you go through the systems, and all you know is selling drugs and selling other things. All you know is badness, but you know good, but that makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. So again, Christianity's Christians, y'all, and I'll break you down on that Bible because I'll go past where that Bible came from. So again, don't cast your pearls on swine. Don't try to clean the spot in someone else's eye, and you didn't do your own. How you got to the knowledge of yourself is how you got to the knowledge of yourself. But don't forget, there's 9 billion people on this planet, and not everybody follows religion, boo. A lot of people, what we are called as free thinkers. And again, if you take shots on that, that's on you. Again, the delusional person will always take offense to the truth. And let me tell you, the truth does not have to be validated nor explained. So, yes, marriage is sacred. And before that Bible, marriage is defined in multiple different ways, i.e., the point tonight's conversation is made. There are other people outside of religious communities, souls, aka knowledge and wisdom, we share differently. Shit, because I've been married 4 times, 3 on paper and 1 spiritual, and I'll be damned if someone telling me I'm not qualified to give marital advice. I'll break your whole Bible down to where you'll call the 432 the beginning of this Ram 19 existence. And that's for those who understand what I'm saying. I'm not about to break it down. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Go do your homework. What does a nigga try to do when he's trying to calculate a thought? Yeah, I bet any person that tries to recite that Bible and I tell you exactly who's telling you that message, who are they referring to, and where that came from, I bet you gonna say, yeah, 432, let's go. So ass nigga, let's go. Like, and like I said, there's a time and a place for vulgarity, but it gets to a point that sometimes the only way you can say something is just period, point and blank. It gotta be black and white. It gotta be stern. So love relates and resonates or it doesn't. Either you understand high frequencies or you don't. Wherever how path that you got it, you raised your frequency. Religion, man, fallen gods, those who are not even gods at all, will only argue the truth. And y'all know the truth, again, does not have to be validated. So I think I touched on everything I needed to touch on, boo. Uh, if there wasn't a weak man, there would be no room for a single woman. I know, and I'm out. Ashe.